It's widely accepted that being fluent in the language of business is a key trait to develop for any professional. Now, if you're in sales, for example, business acumen is what builds your credibility with customers and makes your proposals relatable to the C-suite. Inside your own company, it's what makes you promotable because you're now seeing the big picture, you're packaging your ideas better, and so on. So, how do you actually improve this business acumen, this business IQ? So, short of saying go back to school for an MBA, is there another way? Now, that's where building your own library of foundational books comes in. And in this series, I'll walk you through some of the best ones I know of. Today's book is What the CEO Wants You to Know by Charan. The origin of this book is interesting in itself. It started when the then CEO of Ford Motor Company asked Professor Charan, who's a CEO advisor and was a Harvard business faculty at the time, to create a course to help Ford employees understand their own business, as in how the company makes money, what levers does Ford have in order to drive its own profitability, and how each individual's work contributes to the company's performance. Out of all that initiative came this timeless little book. Dr. Charan distills the essence of business thinking into 4 building blocks. He calls them customers, cash, returns, and growth. And whether you are a fruit seller on the streets of an Indian city or the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, these same principles apply. Now, the complexity is, of course, different, but the fundamentals don't change. In fact, a core idea in Dr. Charan's book is that the essence of business, whether it's a one-person retailer or a Fortune 500 company, is fundamentally the same. The simplicity and clarity with which a small shop owner runs his or her business reflects the same principles that a great CEO applies at scale. He talks about how a small retailer knows which items are moving fast, what's sitting on the shelf. This is just situational operational awareness. They are watching their daily cash flow, just as the CEO of a large company is monitoring the company's working capital and liquidity. The small retailer talks to customers, is adjusting inventory based on the feedback. And this is no different than a large company tracking customer behavior through the information systems like CRMs and so on and adjusting their strategy. Now, the small retailer has built an intuition over time of the flow of money, of people, products, and how they all influence decisions. Dr. Charan wants professionals, especially aspiring leaders, to stop overcomplicating business and focus on the fundamentals. Let's explore each of these building blocks he talks about. First, the customers. Do you know what your customers are really buying and why? As in, we're not talking of just the product or service, but why they come to you in the first place and why they keep coming back. Is it trust? Is it convenience? Is it the experience? Charan talks about great CEOs making visits to their stores, talking to customers themselves, having a keen curiosity about what truly drives customer value. And this is a foundational trait. Second building block is the cash. It is said cash is the oxygen of a business. Net cash flow is the difference between what comes in and what goes out. If you run out of cash and cannot borrow, that's when you're going under. You go bankrupt, which is why on earnings calls, you see that if a company isn't generating cash, analysts start digging. Is it because of big investments? Is it because receivables are taking too long to collect? Is it that too much cash is tied up in inventory? Or has the company over-leveraged, has borrowed too much, and so on? And everyone in the company impacts cash position. As in, for example, a salesperson who negotiates a 30-day terms instead of 60 is bringing in cash faster. Or a project that is delayed its launch and in the process is holding inventory up is tying up cash. Now, the third building block is the returns. This is where the financial engine of the business comes together. Charan introduces 4 financial metrics that give you a complete picture of a business. First, the inventory turns, as in how fast you turn product into cash. How efficiently are you selling what you make, else you're tying up cash. Margins, as in how profitable each sale is. How much do you keep after covering your costs? return on invested capital, as in how wisely you're using your invested money. Are you making more money than what you put in? Returns overall, are we creating value, whether the whole business is working or not? So the fourth building block Dr. Charan talks about is growth. Not just any growth, but he's emphasizing good growth. Growth that is A, profitable, B, sustainable, is differentiated, as in it's not commoditized, that anyone can sort of come in and do what you do. And ideally growth that is organic, not just acquired or bought. It's not about growing for the sake of growth. It's about growing with purpose and discipline. At Varasi, we've identified business acumen as one of the three foundational pillars of our work. We build information systems for companies for a living. And the number one reason why IT systems fail is the gap that lies between the language of business and the language of technology, systems, and projects. When that translation falls short, that's when systems don't align with the strategy of the company. Now, understanding these core principles, customers, cash, returns, growth, it helps us relate to the business objectives of our clients when we are starting our work with them. It relates better the benefits of the systems that we build to our clients' goals. In closing, I want to say this book is a gem. It's short, it's sharp, it's timeless. I hope this summary inspires you to pick up the book and see how the basics of business and having a fluency of business can transform how you think, how you work, and how you lead, regardless of your role. Thank you for watching. See you in another Varasi video.